So initially, when I set out to watch Beavis and Butthead Do Christmas, the plan, of course, was to do a discussion or a review, as I do with, pretty much everything else. But after watching it, this is more so about me trying to gather information about what makes Beavis and Butthead so successful. Because this is the first time that I've watched any Beavis and Butthead, and as an introduction, I thought going with a Christmas episode would be quite a good idea because Christmas things tend to appeal to me. Unfortunately, I didn't think it was very good. Now, I know that that's quite an unusual opinion. Beavis and Butthead are very popular, so there must be something there that appeals to people. And this particular episode has 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a pretty great rating. And I'll talk more about the intricacies of the episode in a moment. But to be honest, I'm less interested in my opinion and more interested in garnering information about why people like Beavis and Butthead. What is it about these characters that work for a lot of people? To be honest, it started out okay. We had Butthead as Santa Butthead, which was amusing, maybe overdone, but amusing enough. And he was reading letters that people had written to Santa Butthead, and these letters were written by, teenagers asking for boyfriends or to find, Beavis under their Christmas tree. And I thought that the way the characters responded to that was pretty interesting, pretty fascinating, and it was alright. And then the laughing started. And it's that iconic laugh that I believe Butthead does. And I'll be honest, the sound is, for me, utterly terrible, appalling. It kind of made me feel a bit ill. I don't know what it is about it. I think if it had been done a little bit, it would have been fine. But it was constant. It was so recurring. This horrible laugh sound just over and over again. And it genuinely made me feel quite sick to the point where I almost had to stop watching. But then they cut from the animation and they start showing these live action clips of various different Christmas things, and Beavis and Butthead are providing commentary. And because the visual aspect became a little bit more interesting, I was able to kind of slightly tune out the laughing. And I use the word laughing lightly. It's more like snarling in a way, to focus on what was going on screen. And I do like this kind of parodying of various Christmas things and seeing these different Christmas themed music videos. I thought that was an interesting kind of montage of clips that, visually it was quite fascinating. And the animation style, although not to my personal preference, is consistent, and I can see the appeal of the actual animation style itself. So visually, I had no complaints about this at all. And the characters were quite interesting. Part of me kind of wanted to know about where Beavis and Butthead came from, what their background was, what their ambitions were, etc. But the laughing just made it so impossible for me to comfortably watch this. And I do want to ask, is it that constant in every episode? Or is this a bit of an anomaly? Because I don't know how anybody could watch this with that laughing constantly happening. But if it is just, if it's more occasional, then I can understand, maybe. Less is more. Beavis and Butthead Do Christmas need to practice less is more with that laugh. It quickly loses any kind of appeal. So it had potential. The actual narrative structure I thought was quite interesting. It weaved together a lot of different clips that kind of worked well and kept me engaged in the visuals a little bit. The animation style, I have no problems with that whatsoever. It is just the laughing. I think that's what really ruined it for me. And I genuinely struggled to sit through it because of that. And I'd love to know if anybody else had a similar experience. Because it can't just be me, can it? I can't be the only person who finds that voice, that laughing, grates on me so much it made me genuinely feel sick. Like, I can't work out why exactly that is. It's just one of those things. But do let me know if Beavis and Butthead is not usually that bad. Maybe I'll check out another another episode of something at some point, but at the moment I have no plans to watch any more Beavis and Butthead. I'm pleased I've seen this, so that I can now say I've seen some Beavis and Butthead, but it's definitely not an experience I want to have again.